Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to go to black-cat-comics.com and pick up something fun to read. It's a pretty small week, but packed with some big books. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Huge week for this guy. This is Detective Comics number 1027. This is the 1000th appearance of Batman in this title. Of course, his first appearance is Detective 27, so this is a big time anniversary issue. You know, I love the big anniversary issues. It's a great excuse for folks who aren't reading the book to check out a cool new title. Folks who are reading the book to get a big old supersized treat. And this one is a huge treat. Lots of the best talent in comics doing a bunch of different stories of all the different Bat characters. Can't say enough about this. If you only pick up one book this week, make sure it's number 1027. It's a little pricey. It's like 10 bucks for this big chunky supersized issue. But like I say, it's sort of a once in a lifetime. You'd only get around to these 1000th appearances about every 80 years. So you don't want to miss out on this one. Always a big week for this guy. Batman number 99. You don't see Batman and Detective come out in the same week too often, so that's a lot of fun. This is obviously your latest issue of the big Joker War stuff. Again, obviously just one issue shy of the big number 100, much like Detective 1027. Sure, Batman 100 is going to be a big deal. If for some reason you're one of the 3 people who isn't currently reading Batman, it's a great week to check out the main book, check out Detective. Great week to be a Bat fan. Catwoman is your other Joker War book of the week. It's another one of my favorite titles, another one of the best books DC does. And might be flying under the radar of a couple of folks. So again, if you've been following the other Joker War stuff but you haven't been reading Catwoman, it's a great excuse to check out a really good title. Batman's Grave from Warren Ellis is your sort of out of continuity Bat book for the week, because there's always lots of Bat to talk about. And Justice League starts a new arc, is your Dark Knight death metal book of the week. Everybody loving that crazy zany death metal stuff. Like I say, not a huge week for the DC guys, but some of the biggest books you're going to find. You know, I'm always talking up Justice League. Great week for the Marvel guys. Here's another great opportunity to check out some things I'm always talking about. There's lots of different X books going on this week. 5 different X books. Been encouraging everybody to check out something from the X Renaissance, either the main book, X-Men or X-Force or New Mutants or whatnot. This is Excalibur, one of the bigger, more popular titles that they have, one of the core X books. And then this is Giant Size X-Men Storm. I usually pretty much stick to the A covers in these videos, but come on, that's an Alex Ross Storm cover. Got a few Alex Ross covers to show you. He's doing what they call these timeless variants for quite a few different Marvel books rolling out. Everybody loves Alex Ross because he's one of the greatest and most unique talents out there in any medium, but certainly in comics. Storm is probably my second favorite X-Man behind Cyclops, so I'm super jazzed about this issue, and I know most people are. Everybody's been picking up all these giant size X books. Hellions with my man Havoc is another one of the core X titles. I've been saying, like Excalibur and this one and New Mutants and X-Force and all the others, you don't have to read every X book to get the story. They all have different creative teams, different characters, sort of a different premise. So find the one that suits your style and dive in, because there's lots of cool stuff to choose from, and this is a good week to check out different stuff like Marvel Snapshots X-Men. These snapshot one-shots have been a lot of fun, kind of revisiting key and critical points in the history of Marvel continuity. But X-Men is, of course, the core title, formerly known as Uncanny X-Men, and of course known as X-Men before that. This is obviously the main book, so if you haven't been checking out any of it, you can jump into this one. This is, again, the first part of the new storyline after all the Empire stuff and whatnot. Like I say, great time to be an X fan. Always a great time to be a fan of this guy. This is my all-time favorite, Captain America. This is issue number 23. This is, again, the B cover, the timeless Alex Ross cover. He also, of course, does the regular A cover as well. Been touting that from the beginning. Anything with an Alex Ross cover is worth cover price, and Captain America is as good as it's been in a long time. So if for some reason you haven't been following Cap, I guess you just don't like me very much. Iron Man #1, the new reboot from the Armored Avenger. You can read more about this one in our newsletter. Again, this is your B cover, your Alex Ross cover. Again, like Captain America, he's also got a cool wraparound cover that's the A to this one. But I love showing these timeless ones because they're awesome. Always fun to check out a new Iron Man title. Always good to jump in on a new #1. Last but not least, with these Alex Ross ones for this week, this is your B cover to Immortal Hulk 37, another one of my favorite titles, another one of the best books out there. Immortal Hulk has just lit comics on fire, and everybody's already checking it out. It's already in your sub box, so it doesn't need much help from me. But I'm always looking for an excuse to show off another cool Alex Ross cover. Thor #7, another latest issue of another one of the biggest books in comics. Marvel is just knocking it out of the park this week with all of their big guns. This is another book that doesn't need a whole lot of help from me. If you're one of those people that's dropped it at #6 because that was the end of the Galactus arc, you're making a mistake. This book is awesome, and I'm always encouraging folks who jump in for a particular something to stick around a little bit when the new arc starts, because it might be just as good or even better as the one you were liking. The Amazing Spider-Man, The Sins of Norman Osborn is your Spidey book for the week, because every Spider fan likes anything that says Norman Osborn on it. Nothing more fun than shaking your fist at Norman Osborn. And Star Wars, the core title, and Star Wars Darth Vader are the latest additions from all the Star Wars stuff. You know, I've been talking about the Star Wars stuff from the beginning, since Marvel got back a hold of all of this. But particularly you want to get in on these recent issues, because this is all the Empire Strikes Back era stuff, and every Star Wars fan agrees that the Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars there is. So you want to be reading Star Wars and Darth Vader. Great week for all the other guys too. Been a while since I was able to talk up some Hellboy. This is Fearless Dawn meets Hellboy. Love me some Hellboy. Love me anything Mignola. Always talking up anything that says Hellboy on it. Like I say, we haven't seen one in a little while, so you're going to want to grab that. You Look Like Death is your Umbrella Academy book of the week. Everybody's been waiting quite some time for a new Umbrella Academy book, so I know you're going to be picking that one up today. And if you don't know much about Umbrella Academy, or if you've been watching the show and haven't been reading the comics, grab that first trade paperback or jump into this recent issue, because the book is tons of fun. Stillwater is your first issue Gotta Have It image book of the week, because there's always a first issue Gotta Have It image book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to grab these first issues. Image does all kinds of things that the other publishers just don't do. Great genre fusion stuff. All the top talent in comics have an image book. Like I say, always worth checking out those first issues before they're gone. Star Trek Year 5 is your IDW book of the week, because IDW does a great job with all of this Star Trek stuff. Deja Thoris is my Dynamite book of the week, because I love me some cool classic sci-fi. Speaking of cool classic sci-fi, Firefly is my Boom Studios book of the week, because I love me anything Whedonverse, and I love me some Firefly. But Once and Future is probably your Boom Studios book of the week, because this book has just exploded since issue #1. Kieran Gillen guy is really knocking it out of the park with this one. This and Something That Is Killing the Children are just huge from Boom Studios right now. So if you've been passing that one up, it's a good time to jump in. Bloodshot, speaking of good time to jump in, love me all kinds of things Valiant these days. Always have, and Bloodshot's one of the best books they do. Looking forward to the new Shadow Man rolling out pretty soon too. Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. It's my Archaea book of the week, because I always talk up anything from the brilliant mind of Jim Henson. Devil's Highway is my AWA book, another one of my new favorite publishers. All kinds of cool stuff coming out from AWA by some of the top talent in comics. And Dead Day is your Aftershock book of the week, another new publisher I've been talking up like crazy, because I love all kinds of things coming out from Aftershock. So grab #1 to this and this week's #2 to see a little bit of what I'm talking about. And finally, Betty and Veronica is my all ages book of the week, because I'm always talking up everything from Archie, but always like to remind everybody that they still do the classic all ages stuff that they've always done, and it's just as fun as ever. Lots and lots of great books this week, so check the shipping list. Go to black-cat-comics.com, click on shop, click on new this week, grab all the books that I've been talking about today because it's lots of fun. And then tune in Saturday, 2 p.m. for Comic Shop Talk Live as we discuss all of the awesomeness from this week. That's all we got for you for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday.